the advice in the world couldn't fix these dating nightmares. And that says a lot. The first story, my sister called me a monster because I slept with my Japanese friend after my girlfriend's sibling passed away. Well, if I'm going off the title, I'm probably calling you that as well, but we will give you the benefit of the doubt and let's read the story. I, 24 male, was with my girlfriend, 24 female, for 6 years. We were seriously talking about marriage and spending the rest of our lives together. For some background, I also have a pen pal from Japan, 23 female. I met her on a family vacation when I was 16 and she wanted to keep in contact. We've kept in touch ever since as long distance friends. A couple of months ago, my girlfriend's sister passed away in an accident and it was traumatic for her. If I lost any of my sisters, I don't even know how I would continue to live. At the funeral, I noticed that she was leaning a lot on her sister's best friend, who was a guy. They were physically close and made me a little uncomfortable, but I didn't want to be insensitive, so I tried to let it go. Over the next week or so, she was talking with him a lot on the phone and being really short and snappy with me. When I asked her what was going on, she snapped and said she needed a mental break and wanted a temporary separation. It broke my heart, but I respected her space because she was going through a tough time. During that time, I was talking to my Japanese friend. We had always said that we'd meet again one day, so I decided now was a good time to book a trip to visit her. When I got there, it was really emotional since we hadn't seen each other in person since we were like teenagers. We did a lot together that week. She knows I was in a relationship, but as the trip went on, I realized things were getting emotional between us and crossing some boundaries. So you're saying she knows I was in a relationship, so you're still going into that trip thinking you're in a relationship. However, some people are going to say that she said she needed a mental break and a temporary separation.
We were on a break!
That's a lot of blurry lines. I realized things were getting emotional between us and crossing some boundaries, especially after visiting the temple. That night when I was in her room, she kissed me on the cheek, then on the lips, and it escalated. We ended up sleeping together. I didn't regret it because I hadn't felt that kind of love before. The next morning, I texted my girlfriend that it was over. So you were fully in a relationship then. Okay. She called and messaged me multiple times, but I blocked her because I felt it would just drag things out. The rest of the trip, my Japanese friend and I grew even closer. It wasn't just about physical intimacy. It felt deeper than that. I even met her parents and they really liked me, especially her dad. When I came back home, my ex came over to my place and was crying a lot. She asked me what I did in Japan, and even though I didn't want to hurt her, she kept pressing and asked if I did anything with that friend. I told her the truth and I felt really bad after seeing her reaction. My sister, who's my ex-girlfriend's best friend, legit called me a monster for what I did, especially given what my ex-girlfriend was going through. Was I really a monster though? I wasn't the one who initially crossed boundaries. Are you saying she crossed boundaries because she was leaning on a male friend during the time of her sister's passing? She didn't do anything with this person, unless I missed something. This is insane. This is insane. Your girlfriend of 6 years who you loved loses her sister in a tragic accident, and that's what you go and do. And then you text her and dump her while you're in Japan after having sex with someone.
We were on a break.
I have nothing nice to say. I need to move on. I'm pissed. I'm not gonna be nice about it, but you guys let me know. You guys might say it was okay. I don't know. It would shock me, but we're allowed different opinions. Next story. I, 21 female, set up a date between my two friends, 29 male, 29 female. Something went wrong that night, and now my guy friend won't talk to me. What could have happened? So many things could have happened. Let's not even guess. This came January 2nd, 2017. I met my friend Chuck, 29 male, about 1.5 years ago. We were both part of an online group for single parents and eventually met offline with other group parents. I've known Britt, 29 female, since high school. Chuck's wife died of childbirth complications the day their daughter was born, more than 2 years ago. Britt is a few months out of a 9-year relationship. Both of them have expressed wanting to meet each other, and I thought they'd be good for each other because of common interests, and we all have kids of similar ages. 2 days before Christmas, Chuck and Britt went out on their first date. I kept Chuck's daughter at my house so the two could have some more time together without him having to worry about the baby. The plan was for her to spend the night. She's done it before and gets along great with my 3-year-old girl. But Chuck knocked on my door at around 11 p.m. to get his his daughter. He barely said a word to me and I could tell he had been crying, but he wouldn't tell me what was wrong. The next day, I asked Britt what happened. She said that they had dinner and a couple of drinks and things were going excellently. She said she felt that they had great chemistry and were even getting physical at his house, but he suddenly told her to stop and to leave immediately. Maybe this is about the wife. Lila, not the time. This is a very serious subject we're talking about here. Maybe once things started turning physical, he panicked because he was thinking about his late wife and it was too overwhelming for him or something. Yeah, maybe. She swears that she has no idea what she did wrong and is really hurt by the whole thing. I believe her because she's really sweet and social. I've never seen her do anything to piss anybody off. I tried to talk to Chuck at the same time to get his side of the story and to see what went wrong. All he said was that he wasn't feeling it and didn't want to discuss it further. I didn't push it, but when I went to wish him a Merry Christmas a day later, I saw he had deleted me from his social media. I texted it to him instead and I asked, "You okay?" But no response. I am seriously hurt and I don't know what to do. Chuck has become one of my closest friends and our daughters are best friends too. Hello, Lila. Since you're making all this noise, you want to come in the video? Look at this girl in her bed. She was having a full-on snooze. Oh, the big yawn. Oh, yes. So sleepy. She's so annoyed by me, always. I am really worried that this has something to do with his wife, and I want to apologize if he felt that I was pressuring him to date after her passing. At the same time, I don't want to overstep boundaries and bother him when he's having a hard time. It's been over a week, and I'm worried and upset. Edit. Someone mentioned that Chuck may be in love with me, but deleted the comment. I still want to address that. He's almost a full decade older than me and has never expressed those feelings for me at all. In fact, the week before he cut me off, he said I was a great friend and he was happy that his daughter had some female figures in her life. Boo-boo, you want to come sit with me? Come here. She walks away. We have an update, which came 10 days later, January 12th. Chuck finally contacted me 2 days ago. He apologized for unfriending me and not talking to me. As many of you said, he was embarrassed by what happened on the date and even angry at me for setting them up. She completely lied to me. He maintains that they went to dinner and had drinks, but then he says Britt got completely crap-faced and was trying to get him to have sex in the parking lot. When he said no, she got very aggressive to the point where he made her get out of the car and got a cab. Once he knew that she was gone, he went to my place to get his daughter and was so pissed at me that he couldn't talk to me about it. Of course, I apologized profusely and told him I didn't know that she was like that at all. He didn't blame me and said that I didn't need to be sorry, so we're cool now. I confronted Britt yesterday. All I said was that Chuck told me a different version of events. She started crying and admitted to everything all on her own. She asked if I ever could forgive her, and I said yes, but I'm not sure if I was telling the truth. I'm not sure if I should keep Britt as a friend. I am really disgusted by her behavior, and I know if the sexes were reversed, I would stay the hell away from her. Well, then I feel like that tells you enough about how you feel about it. Next story, the woman I'm seeing lied to me, but apparently with good intentions. I also questioned her morality. I think I should cut this off. Going off that title alone, probably. I, 26 male, have been seeing a woman, 25 female, for about 6 months. Recently, I found out she lied to me about her past, though she insists it was with good intentions. I genuinely believe she would have told me eventually. She currently works with him, but is just about to leave, and she was going to tell me as soon as she was out, which I believe, but I can't shake the fact that she still lied. She has a close male friend, let's call him C. Early on, I asked if anything romantic between them ever happened. She denied it every time, so I trusted her and I moved on. 4 months later, under some pressure from me, she admitted that C kissed her on New Year's while he was still with his girlfriend, who he's still dating now. She swears nothing else happened, and I believe that part. The kiss was led on by the fact that he was the only one who cared for the woman that I'm now seeing after she was cheated on, and she leaped on to any validation that she could get. Her reason for not telling me sooner was that she wanted me to meet C first without having a biased opinion, since they're still friends today. Nothing romantic anymore. She'd hoped I would integrate into her friend group before she told me the truth. I can understand her logic, but it still feels like a betrayal. Now, I can't help but wonder if there are more lies I haven't uncovered. To complicate things, she also told me she once hooked up with a coworker that she still sees regularly, though she insists it's strictly professional now. He also had a girlfriend, and she knew this. You know, I'm not trying to judge anybody, but surely those might be red flags when you're starting to date someone, because you might be worried if she hooked up with someone who was in a relationship, not a great look. And if she did kiss somebody, a close friend, and lied to you about it, also not a great look. Meanwhile, I've been out for drinks with her, C, and C's girlfriend, who apparently forgave this whole situation, yet I feel like it was just being swept under the rug. Beyond this, I already have some concerns about her promiscuous past, her immaturity and impulsiveness, and certain questionable decisions. Unrelated, but it's relating to finances, messiness, shopping problems, etc. The new revelation feels like the final straw. She says I'm the best partner she has ever had and calls this her first healthy relationship, but I can't get past her or past the dishonesty. I previously had a relationship of 7 years. She was previously cheated on, which led to her reckless behavior, though she insists she is different now. She wrote me a huge letter explaining the facts and an apology, and even went to see a psychologist after she hooked up with a guy who had a kid on the way out of guilt. Okay. But this just shows that she acts impulsively and doesn't consider the long term. I feel like I should walk away, but part of me wonders if I'm being too harsh. Is this relationship already over? I'm in no position to give advice, truly, but I'm not getting good vibes. It's not fair to judge someone on their past if they've taken accountability and changed their ways, I guess. Some people would be okay to forgive certain things, but she did lie to you. I don't know. Something's telling me to wave the red flag, though. I gotta be honest. Next up, a girlfriend of 4.5 years wants her name on the house but won't marry or put money down. Okay. So I've been with my girlfriend for about 4.5 years. When we first started dating, we made this deal where I would give her $2,000 a month. The idea was that if we ever broke up, she keeps it, but once we got married, that money would go towards a house down payment. Over time, I have paid her about $110,000. Okay, is she getting this money just for existing, or how do I sign up? Now I'm in my mid-30s and I really want to settle down, buy a house, and start a family. She says she's not ready to be engaged or married yet. Here's where it gets tricky. I told her I'm ready to buy a house and put 20% down, but I want to pause the $2,000 a month going forward. She says she's fine with that only if I add her name to the house. I said I'm fine with adding her name if we're married, or if she at least puts up a similar down payment. She could use the $110,000 I already gave her, since that was supposed to be for the house anyway. She said no. So basically, my options are: number one, keep paying her $2,000 a month and just buy the house under my name, hoping she'll want to get married someday. Or two, stop paying the $2,000 a month and add her name to the house now, even though she's not contributing and doesn't want to get married yet. Option two would save me money each month, but it feels risky. I don't know. Am I being unreasonable here, or is this a huge red flag? Then he edited the post. All right, I think I should give a bit more context on why I agreed to pay her $2,000 a month. Yeah, because we're all wondering it. We have about a 7-year age gap. She had just graduated when we started dating, back when I was 30 and making a little over 3 times her salary. She was upfront that she was worried I might break up with her after a couple of years and she would have nothing to show for it. So the $2,000 a month was kind of like a security deposit that would eventually go towards a house payment if we got married. For what it's worth, she's smart, pretty, and kind. We honestly have a very good relationship the last few years. She's never once asked me to increase the $2,000, even with all the inflation lately, which I respect. If that's the case, Matt, where's my $2,000 a month? Because I feel like you could leave me. Imagine. That'd be such a weird setup. I would not be okay with that setup on either end, to be honest. I don't need a security deposit from a man. No thanks. I'm good. I will have my own security deposit in my own bank that I will work for. Teach their own though. Teach their own, okay? We have edit number 2. I appreciate all the advice, and yeah, I see the majority of people are saying just run away. The thing is, I'm almost 35. People keep saying just leave or start over, and yeah, it sounds easy, but realistically, you got a lot of life left, my brother. Hopefully. That means spending at least another year finding someone nice, smart, and attractive, then dating for a few more years before even thinking about getting married. By then, I'm pushing 40, and that's if everything goes perfectly. And honestly, what if I can't even find someone similar? I have no idea where to even meet women my age who are still single. Feels like all the good ones are already married or taken. At my age, breaking up feels like a huge gamble. I don't want to end up alone and regret it for the rest of my life. You also don't want to just get married and stay in a relationship just to settle and avoid starting over. Been there. I stayed way longer than I should have, and it's because I simply did not want to start over. And guess what happened when I started over? Well, a year later, after I started over, I found Matthew. It can happen. Edit number 3. After thinking it through, I've decided to go with option 3. I'm planning to talk to her about it this weekend during our usual Saturday night food adventure. Here's option 3. I'll put down 20% on the house and she can choose the one she likes as long as it fits my budget. She'll still be able to live here rent-free, just like now, but I'll stop sending the $2,000 monthly support. Instead, I'll start putting that $2,000 into a separate savings account every month. If we end up getting married, whether that's in a year or 2, I'll add her name to the account so she can have access to everything that's been saved from starting the next month. I hope that gives her a little extra motivation to think more seriously about marriage sooner rather than later. If not, I'll still have a solid savings account built up for myself. Edit 4. All right, last update. She went full rage mode and dumped me. Oh! Told me she's been so nice to me all this time by not raising the $2,000 a month that I was paying her. Now, apparently, the new rate to keep her as just a girlfriend, not a wife, is $3,000 a month. I told her nope. So yeah, she dumped me and moved out today. Now it's just me, an empty apartment, and no one to talk to. It's a blessing in disguise. I can't stress that enough. That's not who you want. You do not want your marriage to be transactional. Come on now. Are you kidding me? This was it. This was your sign. You needed it. It was forced upon you. She dumped you. Start over. You have time. Take a breath. It's gonna work out. Good riddance. And hey, now you'll have a bigger savings account. But do you get your money back? Wait a second. If she dumped you, give me my $110,000 back. What do you mean? That's crazy. We are hopping on hydration station. I need to hydrate because I think I'm getting sick. I will update you guys. Stay tuned. Stay tuned on how I'm going to feel the rest of the day today. Cheers. Drink some water. I'll be drinking lots because I am terrified of getting sick with my upcoming trip. Next story. Staying with a fair partner in the picture was the worst decision I ever made. I don't know how that could ever be considered a good decision. Truly. I just wanted to tell my story. Last June, WP? What the hell does that mean? Oh, wayward partner on infidelity subreddit. Wayward partner. Interesting. Okay, we learned something new here today, you guys. Last June, wayward partner went on a camping trip with her best friend, and that's when it happened. She came home and told me the next day, said it was planned. She acted surprised when I got upset, but like she knew I wouldn't be okay with this, or she would have asked me beforehand. I remember leaving to go walk the dog and get some air, and hearing my parents' voices screaming at me in my head, saying my reaction was uncalled for and nobody would ever forgive me for reacting like this over something so stupid. So I convinced myself that it didn't affect me and that it was between them, and the next day told her I forgave her and it wasn't a big deal. Just don't do it again. Couldn't be me. And I said that it wasn't fair to let my insecurities ruin their friendship, which I believed at the time, and I hate myself for now. I was already very good at pushing down that feeling that something wasn't okay. I thought that feeling was me failing. I felt like this was just the next phase of relationships. Relationships were work, and I needed to deal with my feelings. So they go on another long hike together, and I can't contain those feelings. It's tough. So he's going to run this marathon, and a month after D-Day, I attempt to grow a spine, or at least a vertebrae, and I asked her not to attend. She says that's not fair. I insist, and she breaks up with me on the spot. I stormed out. When I get back, she says she doesn't want to break up, but she still wants to go to the race. And this is the moment I replay in my head every day. I say, okay, fine. I could have said to F off. I could have said delete his number and we'll talk. I could have said you just made your preference clear. I didn't do any of that. We agree she can go to the race but can't go to the finish line. Things nosedive from here. She continues flirting with him over text. I'm constantly telling her that she's damaging this relationship and that I'm not okay with being in her life in any capacity. It's all very abstract and intellectualized. I don't say that you're hurting me or I'm going to leave. We do sporadic couples therapy. It's useless because I'm not in a place where I feel like I can even have boundaries. After about 8 months of this, I finally say it's over. I'm a pathetic, crappy shell of a human being, and I didn't want to be anymore. I'm glad I did, but I wish so badly I had done it sooner. The loneliness is hard, but the self-loathing is harder. So I'm trying to claw my way out of the hole. I do feel better than when I was in that relationship. I think I did a lot more damage to myself than I was willing to admit by staying. I was in therapy this whole time for what it's worth, but I kept saying to my therapist that it wasn't a big deal, that it certainly didn't count as trauma, and I had no idea why I was depressed. I could have guessed that. We also did a lot of work on childhood trauma. I ended up cutting off my parents as well, and likewise, I feel a lot better after that. So maybe the silver lining of this dumpster fire of a year was that I could finally start to wonder what it is I deserve, which is not a thing I would have considered a valid thought before all of this happened. I feel like this is just a nice lesson learned that we all need to know our worth and our value as a person, as who we are, our beauty inside and out. Very important. Next story. Our first date went great, but after, she apparently spent the night with a friends with benefits. And she told you? Yesterday, I, male 24, had a great first date with a girl I know through some mutual friends, same extended social circle, and had been crushing on her for a while. We exchanged glances and the vibes were good, so I finally pulled the trigger and asked her out after we had some good conversation. We had a great time at the pier, ate and played some games. This is a little embarrassing to admit, but I got her flowers. Why is that embarrassing to admit? After I gave them to her, I told her I'd put them in my car so she didn't have to carry them around and be embarrassed. She said, but I want to carry them around. The chemistry was really strong and we both said we were looking for something serious. We held hands. She even let me sneak a little kiss at the end of the night. She texted me this morning that she didn't want to seem desperate, but she really hoped she could see me again soon. This morning, I told one of our mutual friends that I finally took her out on a date, and they told me a guy spent the night with her last night after our date. He apparently came over late, went to her room, and then left early in the morning. I'm told they have some sort of casual situation where he basically comes over and smashes a couple times a week. Obviously, she isn't my girlfriend, and I really don't have a reason to be upset, but geez, this has kind of put me off with her. I'm wondering if I should continue dating her or not. How should I handle this? Is this a huge red flag? I'm so out of the dating game that I don't know. I've seen people casually date and go on dates while also going on dates with other people because nothing is serious yet and they're just trying to get to know people. It was just the first date. She doesn't know if anything will come from that. She ended up with her friends with... Is this what dating is like? I don't even know what I would do in that situation. I can't even give you advice. It would probably put me off personally. I'd probably say, you know what? You didn't do anything wrong because we're not dating, but for me, I'm just gonna move on. What would you guys do? We'll chat about it. We'll chat. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.